Hello guys, Wahoo here, back on the video. This time around we are going over the patch notes, also the PTS gameplay for this new update we are getting. And you can't see anything on the screen right now. Well, you can see me, but the point is that I wouldn't reveal the patch notes right now because the patch notes are not out at this point when I'm recording this, but I wanted to get ahead of time and show you guys what they have shared with us as content creators. But of course, this video will not be live before the patch notes are live, so you will see the official patch notes in the description if you want to go down there. I will also add anything that isn't in these patch notes because it is something that is always updating, so it might be added before the PTS server is up and running and the patch notes are out. But in this video we're going to go over the patch notes that I do have, and then if there's any additions I will also add it to the video. I'll add it to the description or to the Discord, our official Discord for the club Wahoo, of course. The one is also linked in the description, so if you want to get updated there, go to the description or go to the Discord. I will post stuff there, but I wanted to get ahead of time, as I said before, because this is actually my birthday weekend. So I'm turning 40, so happy birthday to me. Thank you. But so I wanted to, of course, get much content as I can get out of this because I'm going to be busy all weekend. So I wanted to, of course, get to this to you guys as well. But enough with the introduction. You guys want to, of course, see the patch notes. So here is the patch notes, or the first half of it. I'll, of course, also move it down so you guys can see the rest of it. But as it says, always, PTS updates, everything is subject to change, and there may be additional notes once the official goes live. So again, check that in the description, or I'll probably add it to the video as well. So the first thing is the Draconic Pathfinder, and basically this is TLDR of this one is to search for dragons and see the progress you are doing for dragons. So basically it's a kind of a Wikipedia, you can kind of call it like that, of how you are going to obtain the dragons and how far you are with those dragons getting through this. So it's a new interactable that has been added to help players find all dragons in the game. There's also quite a lot of dragons, and some are very, very old, like 10 years old for now, and coming into the game, it might be very hard to find these. So first of all, it is going to be found in the hub. We don't know right now if it's going to be ever in your cornerstone or in the clubs, but I don't think it's going to ever be there, and I really hope it's not going to be there because I think there should be a lot of things in the clubs, but I think there should also be some that are drawing you to, of course, the hub. And there is also some people running around there, so you see other people playing as well, because it's all about playing with other players, right? That's the thing. But it's a list of all dragons in the game. Currently only fledglings, adults, and astral dragons has completed data. So the legendary and the primordial dragon will be added soon. So they might not be in the first batch of whenever it's, but they will be added when the legendary and the primordial dragons will be added. So that is something that's going to be added over time. Maybe first when, of course, I don't know, maybe it's going to be during PTS, I would assume so. But anyways, it shows how to collect each dragon and what stats they provide. So rest in peace, my dragon series with all the dragons. Maybe I'll still keep it around, but now that we have this, basically it's going to tell you everything you need. Hopefully, again, I haven't seen on the PTS server, but we will, of course, give us feedback and such. So yeah, displays each dragon's appearance, so you can also see if it's a dragon you actually want to see. That's actually kind of cool, so you can kind of see what it looks like. And I hope there's kind of a showcase thing where you kind of like maybe see it flying, you can maybe see it shooting, because that sort of thing is sort of also important for quite a lot of people. So yeah. And then it allows you to search for dragons by name, includes an option to hide dragons you already collected, includes features a process bar that shows you how many dragons you collected. Once completed, it will confirm that your collected is finished. So hopefully there will also be individual progress bars. You can kind of see what you've gotten. Basically, I would love to see if you collected all your dragon fragments, for example, or you have enough flux to do it, basically. And it basically looks in your inventory and sees if you have all the fragments in your personal chest as well. So you can see all these, dragons being there somewhere as well. So hopefully it's going to be there. That would be super, super awesome. But basically that's what it's going to be. And then there's also the Draconic Pathfinder will be the first of several planned Pathfinder interactables with more coming in the future with other game systems as well. So that's super awesome. Looking forward to what other systems they are going to do. But there is a lot of things. Basically, could also be one for, you know, every item there is in the chaos chest, you know, all the chaos items you can craft and such. That could be a nice system as well, because it is quite overwhelming how many items there is now in that one. It, you know, it already lags out the game, even though they divided things up and such. I think they have to divide it one more time or look into how to do it, because every time you open it up, it's gonna get laggier and laggier and laggier, because it's gonna take up so many resources, because there's so many items it has to, you know, render and go through every single time. And it's only gonna be more and more and more in the future, of course, because, you know, Trove is gonna be on and on and on. So therefore, that's what it's going to be. So let's see what it's going to be, the new systems. But I was kind of expecting this going into this update here. I wasn't expecting to have a big update this time around, because we kind of got a really big one not too long ago. I'm kind of expecting getting one around, I wouldn't say December, but I would say the new year, like in January. I would say we were probably going to see a bigger patch in more style, what we had, more impactful at least, coming in from that one as well. And I hope they also going to do some more balance changes, which they also have in this one, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But hopefully they will take more feedback. I did a long post. You probably maybe saw it on the Discord. I posted at least there. So hopefully they will do that as well. But moving on, we are going to go to the next point. And for that, I have to move up the picture. So we are going to get a new NPC called Granny. And the Granny NPC is added to the hub and helps her grandson, Carney, I think I'm saying Carney. I'm not sure if that's right. I'm saying that with new offers. So, you know, there is the little cat in the hub that sells you something every single month. Some for, you know, in-game currency, and some for some other currency that is called money. And then you basically buy the last thing. But Granny now sells new unlockables that locks random non-bonus items from every Carney set as 3 so far. Okay, so basically you can buy an item. We'll see that, of course, on the PTS server. It'll probably give much more sense what it is. But my guess is that you can buy an item just like you can buy those chaos randomizers in the shop. It's probably going to be for real money, because there is real money items in this you know, cat NPC. So my guess is that when you collect it, you know, every you know, if you collected some of the items, then you can, you know, buy this thing, and then you can unlock random things for that one as well, since she also offers all bonus items from each cannon once completed, one of each set. So my guess is that it's just gonna be a random thing, but I'm not totally sure what it is yet. I'm not gonna, you know, be all, hey, it's gonna be exactly like this. I think it's gonna make much more sense when we get in game and just gonna see it there, and we can test it on the PTS server what it really is. But nothing major, nothing crazy, but something really nice that they are, you know, looking into some feedback. There's probably some feedback some people have had with the NPC that we had there right there. So a few balance changes. I only see 5 classes, so I'm expecting to see more over the PTS server. Expand for like 2 weeks or something like that. They're gonna have them. It doesn't say anything about, you know, playing on the PTS server and then also getting, you know, those patron days that we got last time. So I'm not sure if that's going to be back this time around, because it is a smaller patch. So I wouldn't expect it that it's going to be there, but I'll update you guys, of course, in the description if you guys, if it comes up, or on the Discord as well, if you have to play that 1 hour of playtime. Again, you have to be active. They will be looking at the activity. You can, of course, go to the bathroom. You don't have to be playing for a whole hour, but I would ensure and playing maybe 2 hours every single week, just to make sure that you are active enough. And it's not just being AFK running into it. They look into all that stuff. So they will see if you've been doing things, if you've been doing dungeons and stuff like that. You don't have to go, you know, completely crazy and just like do every single dungeon for like 2 hours, but you do have to, you know, constantly be active and do stuff, and you can't just move around. You do have to have like input, output, and stuff like that. They will look into that, definitely. So they've been talking about that. I asked because I was really wanted to know if it actually just was, hey, you can just stand around for an hour and just watch some YouTube or something like that. But no, that's not how it works. So hopefully they will take some of that feedback that I gave, because my feedback was basically there's a lot of unused spells for a lot of classes. So I basically said, hey, could you rework them a little bit. They don't have to be big or anything like that, but you know, rework some of the abilities. It doesn't have to be a big rework for every single class, like completely gameplay changing, but like for example the Dracolite, which doesn't really, I didn't really use the Draco babies that much. I kind of do it when I'm doing like skull dungeons, but not that much either. I never used like my right click, for example, that dragon on my shoulder. I've never used that, like, because basically I do enough damage with the other things, right? So I would love to see something else, like maybe a AoE thing that goes into it, you know, or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, these are the balance changes we have right now. And the first one is actually, I feel like, is the most important one, because the shadow flip now flips you forward instead of backwards for the Neo Ninja. So which is really, really nice, because I always really didn't like the moving back part, because then you had to jump back and then throw the shuriken, and then you were moving forward anyway. So I really just wish that forward is better, but I would just kind of wish that you could stand still, but that kind of also takes away takes away the kind of fantasy of kind of you're moving fast and you're kind of jumping and all that stuff that people used to, you know, the shadow, not the shadow hunter I was about to say, but the Neo Ninja, of course. So we'll see how that actually going to be. I know that they wanted to buff some of the lower, like less played classes, like for example the Neo Ninja and such, but we'll see how much it, like, I'm not going to go into the details about the damage. I'm not sure if that's enough or whatever. I'm not a Neo Ninja main, but flipping forwards is at least better than backwards. That's at least a W right there. Then we have the Fate Trickster. The Enchanted Staff now grants immunity for 5 seconds first after being spawned. So the Enchanted Staffs are the ones that you spawn with, of course, your ultimate. So when you use your ultimate, you're immune for 5 seconds after that. I'm not sure if that is something amazing, cool, whatever it is, but it's something, it's a change. So maybe for Fate Tricksters, they're happy to do that, but I don't know. Doesn't really, was not anything I've, all the changes that's been here, that's not on any of my changes, basically. Not anything I've put in there. So anyways, then of course we have the laser leap, and also the hero's charge cooldown reduced by 5 seconds for the Vanguardian. Not sure if that was a big problem or not, but it's there. So if you are annoyed at that the laser leap and the heroic or hero's charge is a long cooldown, now it's 5 seconds slower, so that's pretty cool. Then of course the Tomb Racer's minions has been increased by 80%. I don't know what that's going to do overall, but maybe they'll have more minions up and running, and you can kind of have more of that fantasy of a raising an army kind of thing, but I'm not sure, but we'll see that in game. I don't see why they should be increased by 80%. I really like the Tomb Racer as it is, basically. There's a few abilities I can actually use the most of the abilities actually for the Tomb Racer, one of the ones I actually use the most for. And then we got the Revenant, the area of the Spirit Spirit Storm is increased by 20%. So that is, I think that's the area of, sorry, not the area effect, it is the area effect, but I think that's the ultimate. I'm not sure what the name is. I'm pretty sure the other one is called Spears, the one that it, you know, do that spear thing. So I'm pretty sure that is the ultimate. Well, we'll see that in game as well. But nice that it gets a little bit more of an area effect. I would also love to have some more damage on it, maybe. That would also be kind of cool, but we'll see what changes they do. Now, this is the first iteration of what it's going to be. So if we suddenly switch to the PTS server of the gameplay that we are going to do, then there was really not any more right now to the patch notes, and you can, again, they will be of course official down there, and they will of course also be much better, prettier to look at, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, if it switches over to like I said, gameplay, then there was no more patch notes. But of course, if there are small updates, there usually is, I'll put them in the description, and I will put them in the Discord. So go check that out, you know, as we go along for the I think 2 weeks we're gonna have it up. We'll see if it's gonna be 2 weeks or more. We'll see how much it has to. But anyways, I'll see you guys on the patch notes or the PTS server. Alright guys, I am now on the PTS server. There was no more additions to the patch notes as of right now, but there is some known issues. with the dragon thing and everything. So there's a few, but they know them already, so they're working on them. I'm pretty sure they wanted to have fixed these things before the PTS server was up and running, but of course we have that marketplace thing that was kind of on live servers going a little bit crazy. So I think they didn't have time to do it. So they wanted to put out the PTS server and then fix this, because they kind of said they wanted to put it out this week, and I think they also sort of have a deadline to it. But we are in the hub at the moment, and right over here at the Crucible. This is of course our Crucible as we know it. What it looks like, you usually have all these things, but next to it is the dragon thing here, and I really like the VFX there's above it. That makes it look super sick. I don't know how they did this, but this is super sick. But it looks like a dragon book. It's a little bit cramped, as you can see. It sort of feels like a little bit cramped right now. Of course, that is something they should be changing. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it bigger. I hope they make it like a little bit bigger here in this side and this side. That they can go all the way out here, I think. But the main thing is that right now one of the bugs is that you can't really see any. You can click the dragons, but there is no like extra addition for it at the moment. There's all the data is not there. You can also see it kind of stop rotating. I think this one rotates as well. Yeah, then they kind of mix. It's a little bit messed up at the moment, but here you can basically search for a dragon. So let's search for a dragon. I don't remember all the dragons' names, so I'm just gonna go to the Starlight Dragon. So everything that has a Starlight Dragon in the name is going to be here. So it kind of also shows you around. So you just kind of look what it does. At least you get a feel for it right here. This one is a little out of the way. Actually, this one you can actually buy for the Golden Dragon Effigy, it says right now. So some of them are differently obtained indirectly by crafting. So it kind of shows you that. Hopefully there will be more information. I would love to see like how you obtain, where you are going to obtain the the dragon fragments, where you're gonna obtain the other items, right? Like for example, if I go in here and we are going to go to, for example, some of these fragment dragons, for example, this one, it basically says where you can find them. It does also say it when you hover it, but I wish it would say it in there as well. But some of the data is probably not there, but we'll see in the future, because the data is there. So maybe it would just be looking like this. So basically you can click everything there is here, like where do you get sunlight bulbs, where do you get the, some of these, and then you can further click on these to kind of give you a guide, kind of looking through how you're going to obtain it. Like it does look like this from herbs and stuff like through the gardening bench, but that's not saying much. So I wish there was like more of a Wikipedia in game that shows you kind of all these things, how you go through them as well. But yes, this is the Dragon Crucible, kind of how it looks right now. So hopefully they'll have more. It will of course see it when it's updated, and you can see here also a progress bar. I wish there was again, like I talked about in the patch notes, that would be awesome if you basically got all this information, how you are progressing and what you're missing basically. Are you missing dragon coins, flux, dragon fragments, or other things as well? So yeah, hopefully that will be more information in this one. I really hope so. Some of them are, of course, are pretty straightforward, like this dragon, for example, automatically unlocks a 200 mastery rank. Pretty simple, don't have to have more information about that one, because it's just going to be so. So hopefully they'll put more information in here, and of course you can also hide collect it, so you can see which ones you are. But you can see it's pretty squished right here. It kind of looks a little bit weird. Also think the colors are a little bit off. I don't really know up here. This kind of looks a little bit out of place, but I don't know, kind of just didn't match the rest of the color patch or scheme, if you can say it like that. So that is, of course, the dragon thing. We are also going to see Cranny. So Cranny is, of course, down here in the hub. You can see here is the cats. And over right here is, of course, Mr. Pingo. But where is Granny? Granny is nowhere to be found. So maybe Granny got a new place to be. So let me see if I can't find Granny. All right, I found Canny and also Granny. They're actually right now in the middle of the hub. Hopefully they'll be staying here. It'll actually be kind of cool that they're right up here instead of down there below. So there's more stuff going up here. But this is, of course, Granny. And this is the one we are used to, changes every month. And there's some new stuff in here. And right now there's a bunch of allies, and some of it is for real money. And then when you buy all the three, you can unlock the last one as well. So this is for in-game currency as well. So, of course, for now, Granny, you can now, as I said in the patch notes, you can see all these things is probably something that you don't already have in some ways. I'm not sure how this system, it just says all locked, but you can go ahead and craft one of these. Hopefully, let's see if we can. Sometimes, yeah, okay, right now you can't on the PTS server, but what it says is it unlocks a single unknown cranny, curious, or cat collectible. So basically you can buy this one of these and then it's going to unlock some of these things right here. So that is how it's going to work, and the way I set it in, of course, our little patch notes thing here is that if I can find it, hopefully I can find it pretty quickly. But of course there's more under the more, of course, because I can't find anything ever. Where is it? There it is. This one. This is the chaotic one I was saying. So when you buy one of these, it don't like one of the random, vault things. Let me see if I can't find the crafting bench. You probably already know what I'm talking about. But of course the chaos crafter. So these ones is of course going to give you one of these random ones. I think I have one in my inventory actually. And I just got teleported because the server is awesome right now. Everybody wants to play on the PTS server right now, so it's right open. So let's go ahead. Hopefully I can buy one of these and show you. Yeah, so you can see this one, and I click this one, and it's going to give me one of these ones right here. So you can basically keep buying these. Of course on the PTS server, not on the real money. This is of course not my money. This is the PTS server's money, but you can buy these and it unlocks one of these random things, and you can basically get all of them as well. And then basically that's how you can get all the chaotic things if you want to do it like that, and you don't have to worry about crafting it or whatever if you don't have the materials. But it's basically going to be in the same basically order as that. Let's see if I can get all these. Is it I think it's lagging a little bit now because it's not telling me. Oh, there we go. That's because it was ranking up. So anyways, that's not what we were in for, but we were to also look at the different classes as well. So of course we do have the, let's start with the Neon Ninja. Neon Ninja, there we go. Neon Ninja is now with the backflip. Now it should, oh, I can't do it yet. Now I can do it. So yeah, now it's a front flip instead of having a back flip. So now we are going to flip forward and just do this one. It's going to be so much faster instead of, going, that way. You usually, now I'm trying to reverse doing the thing. You basically stopped it now. It's going to be super zooming through everything basically, which is going to be super awesome to do as well. So there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff going on with that. All right, so I had to move on from the Fate Trickster. I couldn't really figure out what the issue was, unfortunately, because the servers are pretty not having a best time right now on the PTS server because there's so many people doing all sorts of things, and also yeah, it's pretty cooked at the moment. Anyways, but I did figure out that of course the Revenant ultimate is the Spirit Storm. That's the one is 20% bigger. So of course I can't see that right now because the servers are not having the best of times, but I don't really feel like it was sort of bigger than usually it is, but it might be. So I wanted to end the video right here. I don't want to drag it out any more than that. The most important thing was of course the Runic Pathfinder, and then a little bit about of course a Granny as well, because you can get some of that stuff back, which is really awesome. But mostly the Chronic one, because it's going to be interesting to see what we are going to get in the future for doing all these. And I really hope, and I cross my fingers, that this is going to lead into a more of a social update where we can actually find people. People can find each other and not just figure out how to get the things, but actually also find the people to do it with. And then in the future, all sorts of activities that we can get and play together and find each other instead of just having to rely on different chats and stuff like that. So hopefully in the future, cross our fingers that we will get a social update. I'll at least push as much as I can for that, because I think that's what really Trove is missing at the moment. So I'm gonna give it a last try. Yeah, there we go. It did work this time. I'm not sure if it's bigger or not. I don't have any mods in, so I don't really know if I don't have a specific line to see if it is actually better. But this was the PTS, this was the patch notes. Again, it's all linked in the description, and also with updates coming into the future. I'll up the description and also on the Discord. So see you in the videos, or I will see you on the Discord. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!